Hello everyone, welcome to this session on decision making XAT, and I welcome you back. We had a session earlier and I hope you enjoyed that and you learned the key ideas about decision making, and I hope today's session would be equally fruitful. Alright, just let me know you are present, you can say hi, and I'm really glad to have you guys back in today's session, right? So let's wait for a minute or two for students to join, and once they join, I would take you further. Let's just wait for a minute or so. Let's have a sizable number and then we move forward and do questions. All right. So I think we can move forward and quickly have a revision of the key ideas so that we can talk about approaches and methods once we have done the revision of the key ideas, and then we can move on to questions and solve them. All right. I think I need to wait for a minute more so that we have a few more students. Hello Kajal, good evening. Aninda, Sen Gupta, hello sir, good evening. Hello Aninda, it's really nice to have you guys back. If you have come back, it very clearly means that you guys need to have a little more guidance, and more importantly, you are committed to working for this exam, right? As we discussed yesterday, that as an exam is extremely important because it has a lot of colleges aligned to it. Once you crack this exam, you have a very good bunch of colleges which you can pick from, and more importantly, this is a very doable exam. It's a very doable exam in the sense that it has a very unique combination of sections, and once you understand the core ideas about this exam, you would be able to manage this exam for sure, right? All right, let me see who else is present. Deepak, good evening. Anup Dubey, good evening Anup. I think we have a good number. Let me tell you, I have got a couple of very interesting questions for you, and I would give you time today to solve so that you can come up with the right answers and show that you already have it, what it takes to become a global leader in today's scenario, right? So should we start, everybody? Just let me know yes or no, and then I would move forward. Correct? Make sure you are ready with your pen and paper, not to write down everything, but to make sure that when you're thinking, you can eliminate choices. Remember, decide or decision has two words in it, D and cedere. So you have to learn how to eliminate choices. That's the key to solving these questions, right? Ayushi, good evening Ayushi. Sudipti, good evening, hi. Who else is present? Suraj, good evening Suraj, good to see you. Yesterday, if you guys were there, especially Anup and Suraj, etc., then I am not sure. You might have interacted with me and I may not have answered, primarily because I forgot to switch on the right chat box. Okay, that was fault on my part, of course, but today it won't happen. All right, so let's see. Okay, so I think we have a good number now. Ame, hello. And who else is there? Jatin, hello Jatin. Okay, Suman Roy is also back. I think Suman was there yesterday, right? I am sorry about looking on my right hand side repeatedly, primarily because I have to look at your chat, right? I don't want to miss what you guys are telling me. Vaibhav, nice to see you. To Vimal, hello. Okay, so I think we have exchanged enough number of highs and hellos, right? So let's get on with our work. Anup, yes, it is visible. So can you guys confirm Anup is facing some problem? Can you guys confirm? Can you see the PPT? It says Gradeup, Prep Smart, Score Better, Approaches and Methods, XAT, Decision Making. Yes, because Anup is facing problem. I'm not sure about others. Just let me know, guys. Nikhil Vashisht, good evening. And Nikhil can see, so I think others can see as well. Yeah, so it's visible. Anup, I think you are facing trouble. I think you should log out once and log back in. It's like this desi jugaad that works everywhere. When in doubt, start up the computer once again, right? So reboot. I think it will work. So Anup, just do that, okay? All right, everyone, let's get on with our work now. Yep. My unique video kingdom, very good to see you. I'm really glad to see you. You have a very unique name for sure. All right, everybody, let's move on. So if you did my yesterday's class, I'm pretty sure you are already aware of it, but it is a good idea to revise the concept once again. Yesterday I said, we discussed it, that XAT decision making is ultimately about 5 choices, right? In real life, you will have n number of choices, right? I mean, I personally think that in India, we guys are very good at decision making, right? I mean, if you look at things very simple, or we can call it complicated, things like even arranged marriage, that I think is one of the biggest decision making exam you would face in your real life if you go that way, correct? And you would have n number of choices, and you would be like, okay, marry this, marry that, don't marry this, don't marry that, and you would have a long list, right? But unless you have parameters, can you really choose? You can't. And I'm pretty sure most of you would face this choice, correct, coming from India. So you would have a choice checklist when you go for your marriage. Similarly, we would have a checklist when we are deciding, we are taking a decision, so that we can eliminate choices. We discussed it yesterday, right? So let's Priya, we would focus on PYQs, correct, in the initial phase, and then we can take up practice questions also, so that we are good with our basics, right? Okay. All right, so a quick refresher of the checklist. We discussed it yesterday, but for your benefit, once again, always remember the decision in XAT. What these guys are very clear about is that you have to have certain parameters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. But do you guys remember the Lakshman Rekha I talked about? I said there is a Lakshman Rekha that we are not supposed to cross when we are doing DM decision making questions in XAT. Do you remember that? Because I can see a lot of you have come back to attend the session. So thank you, my unique video kingdom. Thanks so much. So Priya, I hope you would stay and try the questions, right? Even because in the beginning, of course, I plan to go through some PYQs and then, of course, come up with certain practice questions, right? So can you guys quickly tell me what is the Lakshman Rekha I talked about yesterday? Let me see if you remember. And Suraj, Anup, and Nikhil, make sure you guys respond, okay? I would be reading your chat as well. So let me see. What was the Lakshman Rekha? Put some pressure on your head, brains, think about it. Yes, very good, Kajal. That's an excellent answer. Yes. And I'm pretty sure all of you would get it right. But Kajal was the first to respond, right, Kajal? Who else? Ayushi Mishra. Yes. I don't remember Ayushi. I'm sorry, but Ayushi Mishra, were you there yesterday? I'm trying to recall. Right? Yes. Very good. My unique kingdom. Yes. Very correct. Ethics. The Lakshman Rekha of XAT questions is ethics. You don't cross it. If you cross it, it would have consequences. right? But we have discussed it once that you can cross it if you are trying to save life and limb. That's the only reason why you might be allowed to cross it, correct? Not for some other reason. Yes, Suman, that's correct. Ranjana, that's absolutely correct. So let's go through the list once very quickly, right? So the list is, the first rule of DM is that you should always address the problem directly. Don't treat the symptoms. If somebody has fever, fever is symptom. Treating the fever is not what we would focus on. We would rather focus on treating why there is a fever. And that is why we have discussed it. Our solution should be long term, not short term. Correct? So try to address the problem, long term problem, and therefore your solution should be long term so that the symptoms are taken care of, right? So if somebody has typhoid, and if you keep on giving medicine to bring down the fever, it may not work in the long run, correct? So that's one. Second rule, you have to be fair. These guys are looking for fair leaders. Do not discriminate, be fair. Now discrimination does not mean that you would not have any criteria, correct? For example, if for certain role I prefer XY candidate, I am not unfair to others. I am using certain parameters. Unreasonableness is unfairness. I hope you understand. Unreasonableness is unfairness. If I, for example, talk about discrimination based on color, if I say color X is better than color Y, therefore I would give jobs to people with color X, I'm being unfair because it's unreasonable. There is no logic behind it, right? Next, we should always consider the point of view of the affected parties. We should try to maximize profits and minimize losses, but at the same time, we always keep in mind the Lakshman Rekha, right? So don't try to make unreasonable profits, unfair profits, profits at the cost of ethics, for sure. Very clearly, we choose options which do not lead to status quo. Status quo is as it is situation. Do not let the situation be, correct? Taking action is important. Letting the situation be makes it go worse. So avoid doing that. Avoid extreme solutions, right? So you have a set of people who are begging on the street. What will you do? Goli maar do sabko. Na rahega baans, na bajegi bansuri. I hope you don't have that kind of mentality, right? It may not be very useful. No, I would rather say it can be useful, but not very fair or ethical, correct? So I hope you get the point. You avoid doing that kind of thing, right? So don't have any extreme kind of Saubhagya, I just read your comment. I'll come to your question in a while. Prem, same. Okay, just wait. In fact, we are discussing that itself. All right. So next one. Okay, Ayushi, I just read your comment. That's nice. And you came back. I'm really glad. I really honestly feel very happy to see you guys back, right? Because that shows that, okay, somewhere at 9 o'clock, as I am excited to join you guys for this discussion, some of you are eager to do the same, right? Because in today's world, you have so many ways to engage yourself. Why would you come and join a session? That's certainly an honor, right? Okay, very importantly, do not punish the victims, which a lot of decisions in real life tend to do, right? So you have an employee, she is expecting a child, what will you do? I will ask her to take leave without pay. Now, in a way, you are basically punishing the person. We'll not call her a victim, but you're punishing the person for doing something which is natural, which is expected, right? It's not something she's doing out of the way or something which is totally unexpected from a person, right? Having a family, raising a family is expected from everyone, natural, right? It should not be a negative solution, guys, remember that. So don't do something which is considered negative. For example, unnecessarily abusing, killing, threatening, forcing, or pushing someone to do something is considered negative. So villain nahi banna hai, right? That's the whole idea. In fact, there is a very famous saying that try to be a very, very gentle God here. Okay, think like what would a gentle, nice God would do. A God who is also a leader, right? Is trying to run an organization. Think like that. Of course, focus on mid or long-term solution. Don't focus on short-term solutions. So your company is facing problems and you have 300 excess employees. What should you do? Fire them. Now, firing them may be a short-term solution, but what if your business goes up tomorrow and you need more employees? You would have to hire them, train them, let them have experience, and that can lead to more problems and more expenditure tomorrow. So don't think in terms of short term only. Think in terms of long term. 2 years, 5 years, if not 10 years, at least couple of years down the line, right? Okay. Moving on. Thank you so much, Kajal, for your comment. Okay. So moving on. And of course, Lakshman Rekha all the way. It should be ethical. Whatever is not ethical is not really acceptable, right? In fact, majority of the B schools teach you a course called ethics in business, right? I mean, those guys want you to be ethical. So don't try to show off your my manage kar lunga skills. Okay, avoid that. Paise khila dunga. It may work in the real life, but not here. Okay, they are not looking for jugaad kar lunga insan, right? They're not looking for those people who can work around the system. They want people who are ethical. Okay, and of course keep on eliminating choices. We are looking for optimal solution, a fine balanced solution, and therefore eliminate and tell me the last choice. Eliminate, always remember, based on these 9 points. This we did, and I am repeating in a way so that you guys are aware of it once again before I give you a problem to solve. Okay, but before that, in today's session especially, we would keep in mind these 2 extra points. Okay, as we have more sessions, I would explain more points, talk about more strategies, talk about more key pointers to keep in mind while you're doing DM section. I want all of you to get at least 18 plus in this section. Correct. 18 plus correct answers. It is doable. Let's get out of this mindset, which I have seen among a lot of students, that DM section में 12-13 से ज़्यादा तो नहीं होते होंगे, but we can do better. Yes, right. So 2 more points in today's class. Okay. I think you need to change your name, right? Abhay, I'll come back to that. Okay. In a while. Abhay Prakash, yeah, it looks like a genuine query, right? So in today's class, 2 more things, everybody, quickly. Read the case material with undivided attention. Why am I saying undivided? Because while reading, students don't pay attention to minute but very important points. I'll show that in the coming classes more, but I'll try to show that today also, that if you don't know how to read properly, you would not really be able to interpret the case properly. You get the point? Not leaving anything without right interpretation is the key. Interpret everything in the way it is supposed to be interpreted. And more importantly, remember, the question part is where most of us go wrong, right? Question part. I'll give you a very simple example, everyone. I'm asking you a question. I want you to answer immediately. If you delay, I would assume you are Googling it. Okay, I am being skeptical, but what can I do in today's world, right? Okay, and let me ask you the question very quickly. Read the question quickly and answer immediately. You may have seen this very famous short form used in English language. Can you tell me the full form of this very famous short form? Send me your answers in the chat quickly. Let me see who gets it right. Bharat Mundra, I'm really glad you said that. Saubhagya, you can avoid going through any specific book, right? If you do the sessions well and you practice, that should be enough. Saubhagya, I'll answer. Okay, Ashutosh is saying the answer is that is. And let me read the answers, guys. And Sumon says that is, but Kajal, that is, but I think Abhishek Mohapatra got it right. Abhishek, well done. Yes, Abhishek, for sure. And Ayush Mishra says that is very simple. I hope you guys understand that I won't ask you something so simple, would I? No? Right? Now, XOX, LOX, you don't have to change your name, but when I want to address you, I don't know how to pronounce it. कुछ shortcut बता दो, right? Tension हो जा रही है pronounce करने में. Otherwise, I'm totally okay with your name, right? Okay, let me see who else has answered correctly. Suraj, no. Mohammad Javed, that is okay. Now, guys, pay absolute close attention. What is the question? I asked, what is the question? I said, what is the full form of I dot E dot? And 90% of the batch said that is. Do you really think I dot E dot can become that is if I'm talking about full form? Do you really think so? क्या लगता है? Whereas Abhishek Mohapatra absolutely answered it correctly. Ame, it's not the really correct answer, though people tend to think so. I dot E dot as the full form of I dot E dot essentially is id est. It's a Latin phrase. Id means that and est is is. Est is very similar to the Sanskrit word for is, asti, right? That's why people who believe in God are called astik, hai. God is there, and people who don't believe are called nastik, nasti, nahi hai, is not there, right? Id est, that's a full form. But you, 90% of you said it's that is. Now pause here and tell me, people, why did you say it's that is? Why did you not say I don't know if you did not know? What do you think happened? Think and tell me. Let me see your reaction. Abhishek, no. No, it doesn't mean that. It simply means that is, right? But your answer was correct. Kajal, that's correct. That is the meaning of id est. Correct? So pause here and tell me, why did you get it wrong? Why could you not answer it despite this being a very simple question? Think. Yes, Deepak, that's correct. Very correct. XOX, LOX, the question was, what is the full form of this much used English short form, I dot E dot, right? Now, very clearly, Kajal, yes. Deepak, yes, I agree. You guys did not read the question properly. You see this second point? Read the question, understand it the way it is written and not the way you assume it is written. You guys assumed. You understand? You guys assumed that it is asking the full form, but it was asking it. You thought it's asking the meaning, whereas it was asking the full form. So do you get the point I'm making? Why a lot of us go wrong in DM? Yes, absolutely, Ayush. I'm pretty sure you did that. You were in a hurry, so you thought time pressure. You thought, okay, जो दिमाग में आता है, let me just write it. That's exactly what DM does with you. It makes you think in terms of what they want you to think, right? So be very, very careful. Now, let me quickly tell you that this is a key point I would repeat in the coming classes also, but let me give you a question so that I can be sure that, okay, you guys are not doing that and you are not making any such mistakes and you are perfect now. So read the information carefully and read the question carefully and answer it to the best of your ability, right? So be very careful when you read, take your time, but get me the right answer. Keeping in mind those parameters, okay? Those 9 points, keep that in mind. All right. Chalo, let's begin. Ashutosh says, I got your point. I'm really glad, Ashutosh. That's the key to learning. Okay, when you see what the other person is trying to tell you and you understand that, that leads to learning. That's the beauty of it. All right. Okay, so this is a slightly longish question, right? But I would wait for a minute. Please read the question and tell me what would you choose after eliminating all the other options. Okay, send me your answers. I'll wait for a minute, no problem. All right, everyone, please start. Thank you, Bharat, for your kind words. Really matters a lot. So read the case and tell me what would you do. Okay, I have started getting answers as well, which is great. Okay, Suraj. All right, I saw your answer. Saubhagya. Okay, fine. All right, let me wait for a minute, 30 seconds. Okay, so I have got B, 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 but Shivam says C. Ayush Mishra says C. Divay Garg says C. Ayush Mishra says D. Okay, and Jatin says C. So I think the fight is between B, C, and D. Majority are saying B, couple of you are saying C, and a few have said D also. Let me also look at the other answers from the other bunch of people attending the class. Ashutosh C, Somen B. So I think the fight is between B, C, and D. Correct? B, C, and D. That's the fight all about. Okay, no problem. So let's look at the answers now. Let's look at which option wins. We can choose only one. Right? Okay. Now, let me quickly read the given information. As you have read it, I'm not reading it line by line. It doesn't make sense, but let's look at the basic pointers. Awai is the CEO, right? And Dev and Sons is a supplier of to the Ratan brothers. And there is this guy called Bhushan who took over, and then he cancelled some orders by or maybe he switched over to the new supplier citing quality issues with Dev and Sons. They were supplying earlier, but this guy said no, aapka kaam acha nahi hai, so he's probably switched, right? Because it says and when Dev and Sons said what is the problem, he publicly said your quality is not good. How can we take? We are giving us rubbish. I'm not buying it. Further, it alleged that its competitor bribed Bhushan to get the contract. Now, obviously, Dev and Sons were outraged. They said the quality we gave was not compromised. The quality was good, and probably you have been bribed. आपको किसी ने पैसा खिलाया है. Now it's natural, no? Bhushan said, we don't want your stuff. So the supplier said, our quality is good, natural reaction. Second, he said, you have taken money. Even that is very natural, no? But it further says, post the public allegation, public mein ladai ho gayi, public allegation, the share prices of Ratan Brothers started falling because people started thinking, okay, this company is corrupt, probably corrupt practices are taking place. So the people started selling the stocks and the stock prices started going down. Naturally, Ava being the CEO, he or she would be worried, right? I am trying to figure out, yeah, her nephew. So Ava is female, so she was worried, right? Okay. Now stock prices are falling. Ava is worried. Question says best option for Ava to immediately. Always remember, guys, question decides the answer. Question decides the answer. Immediately stem the falling stock prices. Stock prices को रोकना है गिरने से. Immediately, अभी के अभी, in Ajay Devgan style. Correct? So if you tell me something that can work in the long run, I'm not interested. I want it to be stopped right now in next half an hour. Correct? You understand how questions can decide answers? Now everyone, okay? Now I can see a lot of you have changed your answers also. Now look at, let's start with B. B says, issue a press statement that a committee has been formed to look into the matter. Now, I am 100% sure when you look at this word immediately, you already know the answer. If the CEO says we have formed a committee, would the share prices stop falling immediately? What do you think? Let me know in the chat. Would it stop immediately? Correct? I think you guys are smart enough to understand. In India, a committee can take 6 months, right? People would be like, oh, this company is trying to just avoid the issue. They'll sell their stock further. The prices will go down more. Correct? So this is a very bad decision to make, that this would stop stocks from sliding further. This will not, for sure. Correct? So Ashutosh will come to that. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go to A, because some of you said A. Fire Bhushan, blacklist Dev and Sons. Firing Bhushan, remember, Bhushan has faced accusation. Dev and Sons have said that there has been bribery. They have alleged, look at the word, guys, alleged, right? Has anything been proved? Not yet. So should we really fire? And even if you fire Bhushan, why would you blacklist Dev and Sons? They haven't done anything wrong yet. So A is very clearly out. And committee will not do it immediately, for sure. Correct? Yes, Suman, that's correct. Absolutely. Yes, Jensen. Yes, you are definitely correct. He has been accused. He has been accused. People might say, I have taken 100 crore bribery, right? But unless it is proved, I am not guilty. Correct? The eternal principle. Innocent till proven guilty, right? Okay. Now let's go to D, everybody, because a couple of you have said D also. D says, cancel the remaining order and call for fresh tender. Do you think this would stop the sliding share? People would say, okay, they have cancelled the remaining order and they are calling for fresh tender. Means A, bribery took place. They are accepting it, no? Bribery took place. This company is corrupt. People may sell more shares. D again doesn't make much sense. So have we analyzed option C? Let's look at C. C says, issue a press statement. Fine. That the company's quality standards have increased. People are likely to say that, okay, we can trust this company. Because I hope you know, the share prices are falling primarily because of something called trust deficit. Yes or no? People have become a little panicky. They are like, okay, this company is taking bribes. How do you counter it? You tell the janta that, listen, आओ और check करो. I'm sitting here. सारे documents हैं मेरे पास. In which case, the share market would stop sliding for sure, that too immediately. B is long term, so out. C is negative, punishes people without any reason, unreasonable. D does not do anything about the share market. And we have not considered E because it says status quo, do nothing. That means we are left with nothing else but C for Calcutta. Do you see the point, everyone? If you did not choose C initially, I hope now you get the basic idea how do we do decision making questions and how the role of the question is so important. Yes or no? Just let me know in the comment. Yes, Bharat, absolutely. Very good. I think you did a pretty good job in terms of explaining it. Yes. Ashutosh, yes. But see, Ashutosh, getting it wrong is not a problem. The point is, did you learn? Did you understand the concept or did you understand the approach? That's all I bother about, right? Getting it right or wrong is ultimately the part of any class, correct? सीखेंगे तो गलती करेंगे, definitely. So I'll stop it here today. I would see you again. I think we would have very frequent meetings now. Now let me tell you two things, people. Number one, I am really happy to be here every day, alternate days, I don't know, but at 9 o'clock to discuss DM with you, provided you guys come back and bring in more of your friends, because I need to have a good audience to interact with, right? Because when I have a lot of people interacting, I also get to learn a lot from the responses, correct? So if you want more such content, you have a like button, and last time I checked, it does not cost anything, right? It looks like this, thumb, and subscribe and tell your friends, because you have around a month left for the exam, less than a month actually, and I would come back with more such questions if you come back and interact, right? All right, Jyoti, thank you. Of course, my unique video kingdom, we have the course is already going on for the decision making or for the XAT preparation itself. You can join that as well. You're most welcome there. I would take sessions there as well. I take sessions there as well, of course. And I want you to spread the word and make sure that you guys are back whenever we have a sessions. You would get notifications, right? If you subscribe, you get notifications also. And I think we would have a lot of classes lined up. So you can just come, we sit together, enjoy these questions, learn together. All right. My unique video kingdom, I think you need to change your name. This is very awkward to say every single time. My unique video kingdom. I'm pretty sure you have a good name also, right? But Suman, thank you so much. Kaveri, thank you. Joseph, you're welcome. Music Bruster. What kind of names do you come up with? Music Bruster. But that's awesome, actually, right? Okay, let me look at others in the batch. What are those guys doing? Kajal will discuss that also. Shayan, second. Abhishek, you're welcome. I'll see you again very soon, probably tomorrow. I think so. But any which way, I really enjoyed the session. I'll see you again. I'm signing off now. Music Bruster, no, I don't think so. Right, it won't. My unique video kingdom, yes, I'm a Bengali. Abhijit, if you subscribe, you would get the notification. You should also download the app, right? And I'll see you again, everyone. Thank you. Good night. Study hard. Thank you. Shailesh Kumar, 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Okay. Oh, unique. Amio. Very good. Good to see you. All right, everybody. I'm stopping it here, and I'll see you again. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.